8 signs you are a very strong person. Modern Stoicism. Have you ever wondered what real strength looks like? No, I'm not talking about the power to lift heavy weights or how effortlessly you handle the pressure in front of a crowd. I'm talking about a different kind of strength, the silent, unshakable strength that keeps you grounded when life seems to be spiraling out of control. Imagine this. Despite the chaos, despite the endless challenges you face every day, you remain composed. You face the ups and downs of life, not by reacting impulsively, but with a calm resolve that comes from within. This isn't the flashy, in-your-face kind of strength. It's the inner strength that carries you through tough times, even when you don't realize its presence. Today, we're diving into 8 subtle signs that prove you're stronger than you think. Ready to discover the quiet resilience that's been inside you all along? Let's uncover the power of modern Stoicism together, here at Stoic Secrets. Number 1. Face your fears. Fear is something we all experience, but it's how we respond to it that truly shapes our strength. It's not about being fearless. Nobody is immune to fear. It's about facing it head-on and taking action despite it. Many people try to avoid their fears or bury them, but true strength arises when we choose to confront them directly. This is where Stoicism offers profound wisdom. Fear isn't the enemy. It's an opportunity to test our resolve and resilience. The Stoic philosophers believed that our fears reveal not just our limitations, but also our untapped potential. When you confront a fear, whether it's speaking in front of others, making a tough decision, or stepping out of your comfort zone, you unlock a deeper version of yourself. Fear becomes a powerful stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Just think about it. Each time you move forward, even with shaky hands or a racing heart, you grow stronger, more resilient, and more confident. You're no longer controlled by your fears. Instead, you're mastering them. Stoic secrets show us that we cannot always control the world around us, but we do have the power to control how we respond to it. And so, when you face your fears, you're exercising one of the most powerful forms of strength, self-mastery. This is the core of personal growth, where your inner fortitude begins to shine. Take a moment to reflect. How can you begin to face your fears today, even in small steps? How might it transform you in the process? By leaning into the discomfort, you pave the way for true strength and resilience to emerge. In today's fast-paced world, facing fear can feel like a monumental task, but it's often the small, everyday acts of courage that have the most profound impact. Consider the story of Emma, a young woman who feared public speaking more than anything else. She was paralyzed by the thought of standing before an audience. Her palms would sweat and her mind would go blank. But one day, she decided to face that fear. Instead of avoiding it, she signed up for a public speaking course. The first time she stood up in front of her class, she could barely get the words out. But each time she spoke, her confidence grew, and eventually she delivered a presentation at work that left her colleagues in awe. Emma didn't eliminate her fear, but she gained the strength to act despite it, proving that true strength doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means the courage to move forward in its presence. This story serves as a reminder that, like Emma, you too have the capacity to face what terrifies you, and by doing so, you unleash a deeper power within yourself. The Stoic path is not about avoiding challenges. It's about meeting them with grace, courage, and wisdom. So, what fear is standing in your way right now? How can you take a small, courageous step toward confronting it today? By facing your fears head-on, you can build a kind of inner strength that no external challenge can ever diminish. Fear becomes less about what might happen to you, and more about what you can control: your response. When you embody this Stoic approach, you're practicing resilience in its purest form. The secret to becoming stronger isn't in avoiding fear, it's in confronting it. As the Stoics wisely taught, it's not what happens to you that defines your life, but how you respond to it. So, let fear be your teacher and your catalyst for growth, not your enemy. And remember, every time you take action in the face of fear, you are living one of the most profound Stoic secrets: mastery over yourself. This self-mastery is the gateway to a stronger, more resilient life. Number 2, take responsibility. Taking responsibility is a clear sign of inner strength, particularly when faced with challenges and setbacks. In today's world, it's easy to shift blame onto external forces or others when things go wrong. We often live in a culture that emphasizes finding scapegoats or attributing fault to circumstances beyond our control. However, true strength lies not in passing the blame or making excuses, but in owning our actions, decisions, and mistakes. It's common to deflect responsibility when things don't go as planned, whether due to unforeseen circumstances or the actions of others. Yet, those who embody real strength understand that personal growth arises when we accept our part in every situation, both positive and negative. Responsibility isn't about shouldering blame for every failure, but understanding that we play a role in shaping our experiences for better or worse. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This Stoic principle underscores that while we can't control everything that happens in our lives, whether it's others' actions or the unpredictable nature of the world, we always control our response to these situations. In a world full of unpredictability, embracing this mindset is essential. Life often presents challenges and setbacks, and the key to navigating them is not succumbing to helplessness, but taking responsibility for how we act and react. Instead of allowing ourselves to become victims of circumstances, we can transform potential suffering into opportunities for growth. By taking responsibility for our actions and reactions, we reclaim our power and use life's obstacles as stepping stones to personal development. True strength arises when we refuse to hide behind excuses or blame others for our circumstances. Instead, it comes from looking inward and acknowledging our role in each situation. This isn't about guilt or shame. It's about recognizing that we aren't victims of fate. We are the architects of our own experiences, and even when things go wrong, we still have the power to learn, adapt, and grow. By taking responsibility for our mistakes, we dismantle the victim mentality that holds us back and shift our focus back to what we can control, our own actions. This mindset transforms every setback into a chance for improvement and helps us move forward with greater wisdom. Accepting responsibility also cultivates resilience and humility, two essential qualities for personal growth. Admitting when we're wrong is challenging, but it is also an act of courage and strength. Humility, though often undervalued in today's world, is the foundation of personal integrity. This humility earns the respect of others. People admire those who can own their faults, learn from them, and strive to improve. When we take responsibility for our actions, we build trust and credibility with others, and this fosters strong, authentic relationships based on mutual respect. People are drawn to those who practice accountability, and this leads to greater admiration and trust. Modern Stoicism teaches that embracing responsibility goes beyond accepting the consequences of our actions. It's about using those moments as opportunities for self-improvement. Every mistake or setback can be viewed as fertile ground for growth. A person who can face challenges with accountability and resilience doesn't just survive adversity, They thrive in it. They turn challenges into opportunities to become stronger, wiser, and more capable of facing future difficulties. This Stoic approach transforms adversity into a tool for self-mastery and growth. The next time you face a setback, take a moment to reflect. Instead of looking outward for someone or something to blame, turn inward and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience? This shift in perspective will help you move from a place of helplessness to empowerment. Taking responsibility for your actions, whether they lead to success or failure, demonstrates real strength and initiates a process of continual self-improvement. This practice of self-reflection and accountability is foundational in modern Stoicism and is vital for thriving in today's complex world. By owning our role in every outcome, we build resilience, wisdom, and a deep sense of control over our lives. Number 3. Set boundaries. In today's fast-paced world, where demands and distractions constantly pull us in different directions, the ability to set healthy boundaries stands as one of the clearest indicators of inner strength. In a society that prizes productivity and connectivity, it can feel overwhelming to keep up with the expectations of others. Whether it's at work, in our relationships, or in our social lives, we often find ourselves juggling multiple responsibilities. Yet, the ability to recognize when we need to protect our emotional and mental well-being by establishing clear boundaries is what truly distinguishes strong individuals. Far too often, we neglect our own needs in favor of pleasing others, but the reality is that healthy boundaries are essential not just for our peace of mind, but for our overall happiness. Those who practice modern Stoicism recognize the fundamental truth that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot continuously give to others if you yourself are exhausted or depleted. It's not about being selfish, but about showing self-respect, which is the cornerstone of personal growth and emotional stability. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wisely stated, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." This profound insight can be applied to the practice of boundary setting. It's not enough to understand that boundaries are necessary. We must embody them in our actions. When you honor your own time, energy, and emotional limits, you create space to recover, grow, and focus on what truly matters. This space enables you to give your best to others because you're operating from a place of strength rather than depletion. Setting boundaries is not a passive act. It involves recognizing when you're stretched too thin and having the courage to protect yourself from further strain, even when it means saying no to others. For many, this can be difficult, especially when there is pressure to meet everyone's expectations. But Stoicism teaches us that true peace and happiness come from mastering oneself, which includes knowing when to step back and protect your personal space. It is important to remember that saying no is not about rejecting others, but about protecting the mental and emotional space you need to thrive. In the modern world, we often hear terms like work-life balance or self-care, but true balance is not merely about carving out time for rest and leisure. It's about having the inner strength to maintain healthy boundaries in the face of external pressures. Strong individuals don't feel guilty for prioritizing their own needs. In fact, they understand that protecting their personal boundaries is not a selfish act, but a necessary one. By doing so, they remain focused, productive, and balanced in their lives. Boundaries allow them to recharge, be more present with their loved ones, and contribute more effectively to their work or communities. Those who understand the value of healthy boundaries attract the right kind of people into their lives. Individuals who respect their need for personal space, appreciate their commitment to self-care, and support their goals. We live in a time where being constantly available and busy is often mistaken for being productive or valuable. However, modern Stoicism teaches that real strength comes from within, and part of this strength is the ability to say no without guilt. When we fail to set boundaries, we risk becoming overwhelmed by obligations and expectations that ultimately drain our energy and cloud our judgment. By contrast, those who respect their own limits create an environment where they can thrive. Setting boundaries means that you are not only protecting your time and energy, but are also ensuring that you can show up for others when you're at your best, offering support, love, and attention in meaningful ways. In this way, boundaries are not a form of isolation. Rather, they are a means of fostering deeper, more authentic connections with those who share similar values and understand the importance of respecting personal limits. Setting boundaries is a practice rooted in self-respect, wisdom, and emotional intelligence. It's an essential skill that allows us to navigate the complexities of modern life without losing sight of our own well-being. By learning to set boundaries, we're not just protecting ourselves from burnout or emotional exhaustion, we are cultivating a stronger, more balanced version of ourselves that can contribute more meaningfully to the lives of others. As Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By reacting with strength, discipline, and clarity in the face of demands and distractions, we can create a life that is aligned with our values and priorities. In this way, setting boundaries becomes a powerful tool in the pursuit of happiness, inner peace, and personal growth. If you're still here, it shows you're ready to make thoughtful choices for your well-being and growth. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Drop a quick slogan, respect your limits, thrive in life, and let's keep this conversation going. There's more powerful content on the way, so don't miss out. What's one boundary you're ready to set to protect your peace? Let's continue learning and growing together. Number 4. Be vulnerable. In a world that often celebrates invulnerability and self-reliance, vulnerability may seem like a weakness. However, true strength doesn't come from hiding our imperfections, but from embracing them. Vulnerability isn't about being fragile, it's about being authentic and real with yourself and others. It's the courage to share your fears, struggles, and emotions, and to allow yourself to be seen for who you truly are, imperfections and all. In a society that values toughness and independence, we're often told to handle our burdens alone, to toughen up and appear invincible. But strength isn't about suppressing emotion or refusing to seek help. It's about acknowledging your humanity, admitting when you need help, and showing the courage to be vulnerable. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we unlock our true power. It takes incredible bravery to admit when you're struggling or to share your innermost fears. And while many of us fear that being vulnerable will expose us to judgment or make us appear weak, the Stoics taught us a different truth. They didn't deny the reality of life's challenges, but they encouraged us to face them head-on with honesty and authenticity. By accepting our vulnerabilities, we free ourselves from the unrealistic expectation of perfection, which often holds us back from growing. The Stoic secrets reveal that true strength is not about being perfect, it's about being authentic. When we embrace vulnerability, we allow ourselves the space to grow emotionally and spiritually. Think about it. When you open up about your struggles, it doesn't make you weaker. In fact, it does the opposite. It shows that you're brave enough to face your truth, and this encourages others to do the same. By being vulnerable, we create deeper connections, build trust, and foster richer relationships. We all need each other, and vulnerability creates a space for others to step in and offer their support. It's through these moments of openness that we experience true growth. Consider a time when you allowed yourself to be open with someone. What did you learn from that experience? Did it deepen your relationship? Vulnerability helps us break down barriers and allows us to grow stronger together. Many of us are conditioned to believe that we must be self-sufficient and independent at all costs, but this mindset often leads to isolation, burnout, and unaddressed emotional needs. The Stoics understood that strength doesn't come from detachment, it comes from recognizing our interdependence. True strength lies in understanding that we are not alone, and that it is okay to seek help when needed. Take Sarah's story, for instance. For years, she prided herself on being the strong one, handling everything alone, showing no signs of weakness. But when a personal crisis struck, the weight of pretending to be invulnerable became too much to bear. It was in that moment that Sarah realized the power of vulnerability. By opening up and sharing her pain with trusted friends, she didn't lose her strength. She found a deeper, more authentic form of it. Her relationships grew stronger, her sense of empowerment deepened, and she experienced healing in a way that only vulnerability could provide. Sarah's story is a powerful reminder that vulnerability doesn't weaken you, it strengthens you. It gives you the courage to show up as your true self, to embrace your imperfections, and to build deeper, more meaningful connections with others. So I ask you, what are you hiding behind in your life? Are there areas where you've built walls to shield yourself from being vulnerable? What would happen if you allowed yourself to be more authentic, if you embraced the courage to be real? Strength isn't about being invulnerable or perfect. It's about being honest with yourself and others, and having the courage to ask for help when you need it. Vulnerability is the gateway to emotional growth, deeper connections, and resilience. When you embrace it, you give yourself the freedom to grow and become more emotionally whole. The more you embrace vulnerability, the more resilient and empowered you'll become. So, let go of the need to appear perfect. Release the idea that you must always handle things alone. Embrace the real power that comes from being open, honest, and vulnerable. In doing so, you'll discover a strength far greater than anything invulnerability could offer. Embrace your truth and allow yourself to be seen for who you really are. True strength lies in being authentic, and it is through vulnerability that you can grow into the strongest version of yourself. Number 5. Persevere. Perseverance is one of the clearest indicators of inner strength, especially in a world full of obstacles and challenges. It's tempting, when faced with difficulties, to throw in the towel and give up, but true strength lies in the ability to persist, despite setbacks, doubts, or the seeming impossibility of the road ahead. In fact, perseverance isn't about pushing forward without pause or rest, but rather about maintaining your commitment to your goals, even when progress feels painfully slow or uncertain. Life, as the Stoics remind us, will always present hardships and unexpected challenges, but the key to inner strength lies in how we respond to these trials, not in the trials themselves. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." This quote highlights a fundamental truth. Challenges, instead of being viewed as insurmountable obstacles, can serve as vital opportunities to learn, grow, and adapt. Those who persevere understand that every setback is not a failure, but an integral part of the journey. The essence of perseverance is rooted in resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, to remain steadfast when the outcome is unclear, and to keep moving forward despite feeling stuck. Resilience doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending that everything is fine. It's about acknowledging the hardship and continuing anyway, even if the steps seem small. In today's fast-paced world, where instant gratification is often the expectation, Resilience teaches us the value of patience and long-term focus. True transformation rarely happens overnight. It's the quiet, steady effort that leads to real change. Life may knock us down, but perseverance enables us to rise again, even when the path ahead seems unclear. The ability to keep going, knowing that each step forward brings us closer to our desired destination, is the hallmark of someone who possesses both inner strength and the discipline to continue the journey. Modern Stoicism reinforces this idea with its emphasis on focusing on what's within our control, namely our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. The Stoics remind us that we cannot always control external circumstances, but we can control how we react to them. In moments of adversity, perseverance is the key to remaining anchored in our own values, staying true to our goals, and continuing to move forward despite the challenges we may face. By adopting a mindset that views setbacks as opportunities for growth rather than as insurmountable barriers, we develop a resilience that keeps us moving forward, no matter how difficult the situation may seem. In modern life, where the pace of change and the volume of challenges can be overwhelming, this Stoic approach is more valuable than ever. When we learn to persevere, we are not just enduring life's obstacles, but actively using them as stepping stones to personal growth and success. The value of perseverance is not just in the big wins or dramatic breakthroughs. Often, it is the small, consistent actions that accumulate over time to create lasting change. Every challenge, every obstacle, is an opportunity to reinforce your commitment, to adjust your approach, and to keep moving forward. This slow and steady progress may not always be visible in the short term, but it compounds over time, building both character and skill. In many ways, perseverance is like tending to a garden. You may not see immediate results, but with consistent effort, the rewards begin to unfold. As the Stoics would advise, focusing on what you can control, your effort, your response, your commitment, keeps you grounded even when the world around you is unpredictable. So when life knocks you down or presents an unexpected challenge, remember that perseverance is the key that unlocks your potential for growth. Each step forward, no matter how small, moves you closer to your destination. Modern Stoicism teaches us that we have the power to choose our responses, and by persevering in the face of adversity, we become stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling whatever comes next. It's not about avoiding difficulties, but about how we respond to them. By persisting with resilience, patience, and unwavering commitment to our goals. Perseverance is not merely about enduring, it is about evolving, adapting, and thriving, even in the most difficult of circumstances. Number 6. Lift others up. True strength, especially through the lens of modern Stoicism, is not about achieving success at the expense of others, but about uplifting those around you as you rise. In a world where achievement often feels like a competition, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that success is a zero-sum game, where one person's victory means another's defeat. However, true strength lies in helping others succeed, not just in your personal accomplishments. This doesn't diminish your achievements, but rather enhances them by sharing knowledge, offering support, and encouraging the growth of others. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastery over oneself includes understanding the power of collaboration, generosity, and mutual support. When you make an effort to help others, whether by offering advice, a kind word, or a helping hand during tough times, you show that your strength isn't defined by what you can take from the world, but by what you can give. Lifting others up is not only a reflection of your emotional and social resilience, but it also influences the environment around you. By fostering collaboration and collective growth, you create a ripple effect that elevates the entire community. Modern Stoicism teaches us that our lives are interconnected, and real fulfillment comes when we use our strength to build up those around us, not tear them down. Supporting others doesn't reduce your own value, it amplifies it. By encouraging others to achieve their goals, you become part of something larger, a collective effort toward shared success. This approach not only builds goodwill, but also creates a lasting sense of purpose. As you help others grow, you strengthen the bonds of trust and respect, creating a more resilient community that can weather challenges together. This principle applies to everyday life. Whether you are mentoring a colleague, offering advice to a friend, or simply being there for someone in need, you are contributing to a supportive environment where everyone can flourish. This idea is encapsulated in the Stoic concept of sympathia, which suggests that everything in the universe is interconnected. The Stoics believed that in helping others rise, we elevate ourselves. Far from being self-sacrificial, lifting others reinforces your own emotional and social strength. Success, they taught, is not just an individual pursuit, but a collective one. When you help others succeed, you also cultivate resilience in yourself and your community, creating a cycle of mutual growth. By lifting others, you foster an environment where everyone thrives, including you. In a culture of support, people feel encouraged to pursue their goals, strengthening the very fabric of the community. The simple act of helping others rise builds a foundation of trust and respect, leading to deeper relationships, greater opportunities, and a more fulfilling life. In modern life, where competition and individualism often dominate, it can be easy to overlook the power of collaboration and shared success. However, Stoic philosophy reminds us that by lifting each other up, we create space for everyone to thrive. The feeling of support, whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a family member who encourages us, helps build resilience over time, making us more equipped to face challenges. When you choose to lift others, you're not just offering a hand in the moment, you're contributing to a culture of kindness, growth, and shared prosperity that benefits everyone. True strength is communal, not solitary. The stronger we make those around us, the stronger we become. This Stoic principle highlights that by helping others rise, we ensure our own growth as well. A society, community, or individual who understands this will navigate life's challenges with resilience and wisdom, creating a future in which everyone succeeds. By lifting others, you create a network of support that becomes your greatest source of strength. Through this, we can all embody the teachings of modern Stoicism. True power lies not in individual glory, but in collective success. If you've made it this far, you're clearly someone who values wisdom and personal growth. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment with this powerful slogan, "Rise together, grow stronger." Or, if you're ready to embrace the Stoic principle of lifting others up, share how you plan to support those around you and create a more resilient community. Let's continue this journey of growth together. There's so much more to discover. Number 7. Stay true to yourself. In a world that constantly pulls us in different directions, where external pressures often dictate what we should value or how we should act, staying true to yourself is one of the most powerful demonstrations of inner strength. It takes courage to trust your own values, beliefs, and perspectives, especially when they don't align with the popular narrative. The Stoics were firm in their belief that living authentically, aligned with your true self, is essential for peace, contentment, and fulfillment. To live a life grounded in your personal values, free from the constant pull of other people's opinions, is a remarkable act of strength. But this doesn't mean you must be rigid or resistant to change. It's about knowing when to stay firm in your beliefs and when to adapt, always holding on to your core values no matter what. Think about it. When you stand firm in your truth, you no longer seek validation from others because you already have a deep sense of self-worth that comes from within. You make decisions with clarity, purpose, and confidence because you trust yourself. The Stoic secrets teach us that when you live authentically, you don't just improve your own life, you inspire others to do the same. This creates a ripple effect of confidence, strength, and integrity. And in this world full of distractions, staying true to yourself is not just an act of self-respect. It's a bold declaration of your strength. Let me tell you a story about Ben, a young man who learned the importance of staying true to himself. Ben worked at a tech company where his colleagues were always discussing the latest trends, gadgets, and cool activities. Everyone seemed to follow the same pattern of behavior, and Ben felt the pressure to fit in. One day, during a company meeting, his boss announced a new project that would require everyone to work long hours over the next few months. Despite the fact that Ben valued his work-life balance and had other personal commitments, he felt uneasy speaking up. "If I say something, they might think I'm not a team player," he thought. But as the days passed, he felt more and more uncomfortable with the idea of compromising his personal time. Finally, Ben took a step back, reflected on his values, and decided to voice his concerns. To his surprise, his boss respected his honesty, and a conversation was had that led to a solution everyone could agree on. Ben realized that by staying true to himself, he was able to make decisions that aligned with his values, rather than just doing what was expected of him. And in doing so, he not only protected his well-being, but also gained the respect of his colleagues. Ben's story serves as a powerful reminder that staying true to yourself isn't about being inflexible or stubborn. It's about understanding your needs, your values, and your purpose, and making choices that align with them. So, I ask you, what would it look like if you made decisions based on your true self, rather than seeking validation or approval from others? What kind of strength would you cultivate if you trusted your own judgment and remained anchored in your beliefs, regardless of what the world around you is doing? True strength doesn't come from conforming to the expectations of others. It comes from being unapologetically yourself. When you trust in your own authenticity, you open the door to greater clarity, deeper fulfillment, and a life that truly resonates with who you are. So, remember, the Stoic secrets reveal that the more you stay true to yourself, the more empowered you become. By living authentically, you build a life rooted in your own strength, and you become an example for others to follow. Your true self, grounded in purpose and conviction, is the foundation for everything that you seek in life. Number 8. Prioritize mental health. Prioritizing mental health is a crucial aspect of inner strength, particularly in a world where the demands of daily life often leave us feeling overwhelmed and drained. True strength isn't just about physical endurance or toughness, it's also about how well we manage our emotional and mental well-being. Life's challenges, whether personal or professional, can have a profound impact on our state of mind, and without proper care, they can slowly erode our sense of balance, leaving us feeling disconnected and exhausted. Recognizing that mental health is just as important as physical health is essential in building the resilience needed to face life's obstacles with grace. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This quote highlights the profound connection between our mental state and our overall strength. By focusing on nurturing our emotional and mental health, we create a foundation of resilience that allows us to better cope with stress, adversity, and the inevitable ups and downs of life. In modern life, where stress and pressure are ever present, Self-care practices such as mindfulness, meditation, therapy, or even taking regular time to be alone can provide invaluable support in maintaining mental well-being. These practices are not signs of weakness but vital tools that fortify our inner strength, enabling us to approach life's challenges with clarity and calmness. Prioritizing mental health means learning to listen to your mind and emotions, recognizing when you need a break, and understanding when it's time to recharge. Stoic philosophy teaches that while we cannot control external events, whether it's a personal setback or the turbulence of the world around us, we do have control over how we respond to these events. When we care for our mental health, we ensure that we have the strength and clarity to face whatever challenges life throws our way. This concept is a central tenet of modern Stoicism. We must cultivate emotional resilience so that we can navigate life's difficulties without being consumed by them. Taking time for self-care allows us to maintain a steady mind, helping us make clearer decisions and react more thoughtfully to life's trials. It's easy to become consumed by external demands, but without mental rest and rejuvenation, we risk burning out. Just as we would never expect our physical body to function at its best without proper rest, our minds need care and attention to stay strong. By giving ourselves the space to reflect, heal, and grow, we build mental fortitude that serves as a foundation for greater success and growth. Caring for your mental and emotional health is not an indulgence, it's an investment in your long-term ability to thrive. Whether through relaxation techniques, engaging in hobbies that bring joy, or seeking professional support when needed, the act of prioritizing mental health strengthens not only your mind, but your capacity to handle future challenges. Moreover, the ability to recognize when you need help is a powerful sign of emotional intelligence and strength. The modern Stoic understanding of self-care is not about avoiding difficulty, but about building a strong internal foundation so that we can meet challenges head-on without being overwhelmed. It involves recognizing our limits, knowing when to ask for support, and being willing to admit that we, too, are vulnerable at times. This ability to be self-aware and proactive about mental health is a powerful tool for personal growth. By nurturing your mind, you ensure that you are equipped to handle whatever life may throw your way, while also preventing the negative effects of prolonged stress or emotional burnout. Prioritizing mental health is about creating a balanced life where emotional well-being is as valued as physical strength. The practice of modern Stoicism encourages us to stay grounded in our emotions and thoughts, recognizing that they influence not only how we experience life, but also how we respond to life's challenges. When we tend to our mental health, we reinforce our resilience, enabling us to stay present, clear-headed, and steadfast in the face of adversity. So, take time each day to care for your mental health, whether through meditation, a walk in nature, or simply taking a moment to pause and breathe deeply. By doing so, you are not only investing in your well-being, but also fortifying the inner strength that will allow you to face life's inevitable difficulties with courage and grace. Prioritizing mental health is a powerful, yet often overlooked aspect of strength that supports the resilience and clarity needed for continued growth and success in the modern world. In conclusion, true strength is not about physical power, but about emotional resilience, perseverance, and the ability to lift others while staying true to yourself. By embracing these 8 signs of strength, you're not just building inner power, but creating a life that aligns with your true purpose. However, strength is a continuous journey. There's always more to discover,